How large is Canada? Well, to get from the east coast to the west, you'd have to fly 10 hours and go through 6 time zones. I'm now on the west coast in the city of Vancouver, named by The Economist as the most livable city in the world. The city is an oasis of tranquility, filled with great scenery, nice gardens, and lots of rain. I can think of one word. Blue is how I would describe Vancouver today. I'm here to visit Uncle Mel. He lives in a nice part of the city, full of Victorian-style houses. But Uncle Mel prefers a condo. I suspect that comes from his Hong Kong past. Mel Tobias is a Filipino who spent 23 years in Hong Kong before coming to Vancouver, where he became Uncle Mel to a large Filipino community in Canada. A complex story waiting to be told.
008, very auspicious number in Chinese.
I can see a lot of Hong Kong has rubbed off on Mel. And I'm here to probe into the life of a global soul.
Hello, Uncle Mel.
But it isn't going to be easy. Mel is a very private person. Very few have entered his home, and no camera has ever been allowed.
Just very humble, Mel. Aging, bohemian writer.
So, I had to do some serious sweet talking yesterday. Mel is an erudite social commentator, a lifestyle columnist, and a film critic.
Filipino should not be limited to just his or her culture.
But Mel Tobias is much more than that. Tonight, he's consulting the mass media. His dining companions are Cholo Insua, editor and publisher of Planet Philippines, a paper for the global Filipino community, and Lani Tupay, TV producer of a Filipino show on local TV.
Since we're the third largest ethnic group here, and we never have something like this.
Mel is an active contributor to both their medium of expressions. The threesome is out making serious plans.
And there's 100,000 Filipinos in Vancouver now. And that's a huge, 100,000, huge market. And most of the businesses don't realize this.
I listed down 4 types of viewers and tell me if we are on the right track. Number 1 on my list is
Mel Tobias left the Philippines in 1969 for Hong Kong, all due to a personal trauma, which he was not about to reveal tonight.
Are you referring to the Spanish Filipinos?
True.
Tonight, Mel wanted to discuss the mass media and to review the food at this restaurant.
Bicol Express consists of pork and shrimps. It's just like braised pork and shrimps with coconut milk.
This is an important thing in a Filipino restaurant. He can help explain to the customer exactly what the food is.
I had no doubt the restaurant would be getting good reviews for service. Even by Canadian standards, Vancouver is a relatively new city. It has roots as a timber town and grew with the gold rush in the late 1800s. Like most Canadian cities, Vancouver is now multicultural. But it wasn't always so. It was shockingly provincial for Chu Xiaogo when he immigrated here in 1976.
I look at this city that I just feel that, it's such a undeveloped city here. And there is no that big tower that is about in downtown. There is only 3 big tower. 3. Me. Going to get her.
Singapore-born, London-trained, and former principal dancer of the National Ballet of China, Chu Xiaogo is one of premier ballet teachers in Canada.
Going to get her. Now, hop! That's it, good. Ta! Me. Lovely, very good. This time, very good. Yes. Shall we with the music once? So when I was young, my father wanted me to play the piano, and also that, but he don't want me to dance. Well, my mother always that, very kind, always say that if you want to learn, you just learn it. This time you give the calmness, I like it. I like it very much, okay? So, put the music.
At the tender age of 12, Chu Chia received a scholarship to study ballet in London. At 16, he was invited to join the London Festival Ballet Company. But he turned it down. He had another calling in another continent, far, far in the east.
Well, I just feel that I'm so young, and also during that time that I watched that Russian ballet, that is such a different technique inside that I still didn't reach the level. So that I just feel that I need to study more.
In the mid-50s, he took the road to China to study Russian ballet and absorb Chinese culture. The road led him to life-changing experiences. Although it rains a lot, or maybe because of it, Vancouver's winters are very mild. It has a kind of genteel force that draws people to it. In the 80s, the city attracted so many immigrants from Hong Kong that it was called Vancouver. I met Gabriel Yu in 1992 when he first arrived from Hong Kong. Today, the quiet immigrant is a well-known social commentator, community activist, and a budding politician. As he was doing his weekly radio talk show at the local Chinese station, I thought I'd drop by his place later that evening for a quiet chat. As I drove up, I was rather taken aback to see the activist leaving his home. Where was he going? And what was in the package? My imagination went wild. The road we take to new lands sometimes leads us astray, and sometimes wends its way to our heart's desires. We flow through lives in a kind of stream of unconsciousness, finding our perfect final landing place in cities like Vancouver, as did some of my friends, the Asian expats.
It's interesting that as you mature, you look at things differently. What I considered as great problems in the past when I was younger, they're not really problems. I start the day by sitting in this chair, listening to H music, sipping my coffee, and contemplating on what I'm going to do today, tomorrow, next week.
Mel Tobias is a man who, though public about his views, is very private about his life. But this morning, he opened up his inner sanctum for our camera. So this is your collection then?
Yes, part of my collection.
And these are the two of the many books you have written.
Yes. One is called 100 Acclaimed Tagalog Movies. I wanted to honor the film directors who represented the Philippines in different film festivals around the world.
These are your CDs?
These are CD collection.
Wow.
I really go for world music, music from different parts of the world.
Wow, that's part of your DVD. I saw some
Part
DVDs
of
out
DVD,
there.
yes, you know.
Wow.
It's nice to catch up with what's happening in the cinema.
And your study?
This is where I work. It's, again, a hodgepodge of things to stimulate the mind.
Mel's study is a compendium of his personal hobbies and philosophy. As the only child of a prominent Filipino family, Mel Tobias' professional destiny was to be a rich businessman.
All my series of jobs were arranged by my father. I didn't have to go to an interview. I just landed the job.
It was not for more prestige that Mel Tobias left the Philippines, it was because of a family secret.
I received an anonymous letter addressed to me, and when I opened the letter, it said that, "Don't be so proud, you're just adopted." In a society, in a country where pedigree, prestige, family name are associated with acceptance in society and getting into the right places, and it really disturbed me emotionally. A psychiatrist advised me, you should go to a place where the name is not necessary. They said, go to Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, he found his stride, a full-time day job as a marketing hotshot for St. Miguel Brewery, and hobnobbing with the stars in the evenings. This networking got translated into a radio show, newspaper columns, and invitations to film festivals around the world. These days, his lifestyle is a lot simpler. Workout and lunch at an exclusive club with plenty of ambiance.
This reminds me of a little bit about where you came from, Hong Kong.
You can't take Hong Kong from a person. I can't get rid of my Hong Kong ideas and lifestyle. That's the third reason why I became a member of this club, because it reminds me of the old Hong Kong.
Do you miss Hong Kong?
Yes, occasionally. When
What do you miss most from
the
Hong Kong?
energy, the exhilarating energy that forces you to think, to be creative, and how to make money.
But I thought you were retired from
Oh,
that.
that's why I said yes.
You missed that part.
I miss that quality once in a while, but it's not the end all anymore. As I said, it's the quality of life that I'm looking for now. One can live very simply in Vancouver.
After 23 years of heady lifestyle as an expat in Hong Kong, Mel re-expatriated himself to Vancouver.
During those days, a lot of Hong Kong people and residents moved to Canada. All my friends, I'd say 80% of them are going to Canada to reside, to immigrate. And I decided, why not?
Why not? That was also the question Angela and Gabriel Yu had on their minds. Angela got her immigration papers in 1990, but she and Gabriel were not married at the time. Gabriel was managing a performing arts organization that was on the verge of radical changes to the arts scene in Hong Kong.
I was very, very full of confidence at that time. So, I was just thinking, since I never live abroad, so I will just take that opportunity to move to Canada to see how things goes here.
Things got pretty good for Gabriel and Angela in Canada. They got married and started a flower shop. Soon, they have 3 shops and 2 children. The Yu family is a microcosm of Hong Kong. Right from the dinner menu to the extended family that includes Angela's parents. Angela's mom cooks every night, which is a good thing, because Angela and Gabriel have their hands full. My invitation to spend Sunday evening with them is an elaborate answer from Gabriel about what he was doing out late at night. Sunday evenings are not only family time, but a practice of Chinese work ethics.
Yeah, I have to do all the paperwork and all the daily, small stuff here. Yeah.
The Yus believe in integrating into society, with the first store set right smack downtown Vancouver.
Nowadays, most of our clienteles are non-Chinese, downtown companies, and actually we're doing quite well. In the afternoon, we are going to Fairchild. We are going to take a short interview about a campaign that we launched earlier in the Chinese community. If you are living in Canada, you should know more, learn more about Canada, rather than paying so much attention about what is happening in Hong Kong. So I see media can play a very important role.
In 1997, Gabriel Yu was named by Time magazine as the 6 people to watch in Vancouver. I watched the man on the magazine cover as he completes his chores for a Sunday night, delivering flowers to his shops.
Orchid flowers, bird of paradise, tropical flowers, they arrive at our home on Saturday. The other thing is Sunday evening, the traffic is very good.
Gabriel has sacrificed his Sunday nights, so there will be birds of paradise on Monday mornings.
Maybe. Can you imagine when you have nothing to eat? And then you're hungry at the night time. That suffering, that you know, you swallow that suffering. But after that, you pass by that suffering, and then what are you afraid for? And then when the music starts, okay, you open this hand and you breathe out. That's it. And then make your line. That's it. Up. That's it. I don't regret the difficulty when I suffering in before, because it gives me the strength. Yes. And then you go into it. That's it. And lovely.
While he was in China, some members of Chu Chia Go's family moved to North America.
Because my mother feel that it's very hard to every time to apply to China, to go back to China to see me, you know. So he said that, she told me that why don't you immigrate to Canada so the family can unite together. I really studied a lot in China. I did all this great classical ballet repertoire, so that, you know, I was the principal dancer with the Central Ballet Company. This knowledge is really give me a very valuable, stable life in the future. Open. That's it. Outreach. Lovely. Lovely. Very nice. And long. Not yet. Now this part, give, go. That's it. And you go. Slowly. Get into the line. Not crazy. That's it. Understand now? Up to here, this line I want. Okay, from beginning again, please.
The Go Ballet Academy was started by Chu Chia Go and his wife during their early years as immigrants in Vancouver. Today, it's one of the premier ballet schools in Canada, drawing students and teachers from around the world. It stands as a symbol of success against adversity.
They say that you teach ballet. I say, yes, but ballet is a Western art. How that you teach ballet, you know, are you sure you can teach? I say, yes, I can teach.
Chu Chia Go's gentle manner belies the strength within. I got a glimpse of the source of strength when I visited his home and met his wife, Ling Yi, who was also a former principal dancer of the National Ballet of China. She urged me to look at his art collection.
So this painting is a very old Chinese painting. I always see the beauty thing in the life more than ugly thing in the life. This is a lovely piece too. You know, this is a gorgeous piece. Look at that.
His beautiful things are temporarily packed away while their house goes through some renovation work.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
But in his mind, I'm sure, the beauty of life and art is an open and constant source of strength for the future, regardless of whatever happened in the past. That afternoon, Chu Chia heads to the airport to pick up Eddie Toussaint, a guest teacher and choreographer from Montreal. They will plan for a summer festival later this year.
就是说，人生就像一场梦，过去呢没有体会，人越来越老呢，你的体会越来越深。我没有想到我最后的落脚点是在温哥华。 Never dream about that. But well, the life, who knows? I end up in Vancouver.
Fourth Avenue,
This is Fourth Avenue.
which is sort of main street of Hong Kong.
Most of my friends are back in Hong Kong. I'm the leftover. A little store within a store. I think as you get older, you look for a better quality of life. And the quality of life I found here.
Mel's new meaning in life has several approaches. Explore the arts, explore the mind, and recycle old books. He has a corner in a used bookstore. He puts some of his collection here. He offered me a gift.
To a new old friend.
That's a wonderful thing. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
My last day in Vancouver. I've learned some important lessons. But most of all, I learned that rain is rejuvenating. Each of my friends, the Asian expats, have found a sense of renewal in this city that rains all the time. Gabriel Yu is working with the younger generation like Jenny Kwan, who was the first Chinese-Canadian provincial cabinet minister. She came to Canada as a teenager and has lost most of her Cantonese. Gabriel is coaching her for an appearance in a Chinese TV show. I came to say goodbye to Mel. He was busy writing a letter.
Well, I wanted to celebrate my 10 lovely years in Canada, so I came up with a book called Life Letters. You know how wonderful it is to receive a letter in an envelope with a stamp? And each letter will indicate an adventure, a friend, a lost friend contacting you again. Not email.
That's
Don't
why
send
you
me
never
email.
return my email.
That's true. That's true.
I get it now.
Yes.
I'm going to call you
Get it.
from now on.
After a slight delay at the airport, Chu Chia-go caught up with his collaborator, Eddie. From a city that once had only 3 towers, Chu Chia-go is today planning for a brave new world.
It's just like a dawn that is going, the sun is coming out.
After 5 days and 5 nights of rain, on the day I said goodbye to Vancouver, the sun came out.